of Resolution 39, or the Senate Rules on Impeachment, and the suppletory rules that will apply in the impeachment process. We also received on Monday the notice of appearance ad cautelam from the defense lawyers of the respondents. So all of these things we have accomplished in 7 days. So when you see it, there is no foot dragging that has been happening or has been claimed by the parties. We have been expecting the communication from the House of Representatives and the House prosecutors as to the compliance that they have been talking about in the press conference and media releases that they have been doing for the past 3 days. But as of now, 7 days have passed, and there is no such formal notice or compliance that has been filed with the impeachment court. And as you can remember, there has also been a notice of appearance that was filed by the House prosecutors last February. However, this has been filed with the Senate as a legislative body. There has been no convening yet by the impeachment court at that time. So I think there has to be a need for them to refile that notice of appearance for the impeachment court to be notified. So all of these things we have been waiting for them to do, but instead of doing what they said they would be doing, they have instead spent their energy criticizing the impeachment court. And this is the first time that I have seen litigants question the court. And for lawyers like us, and I know the new spokesperson, Attorney Buko, is a very experienced litigator as well. So I suggest that they just spend their energy to doing what needs to be done, what needs to be filed, as they say that they will file, and instead of attacking the credibility of the impeachment court.
Sir, still about Attorney Bukoy, sa press con kahapon sinabi niya hindi na kailangan ng affirmation ng 20th Congress dahil nakalatag naman yung articles of impeachment. Hindi, yun muna sir. So wala nang kailangan daw na reso for affirmation ng 20th Congress. Yun yung pananaw nila.
As you can read the order of the impeachment court, ang nakalagay po doon, technically, no, hindi talaga siya affirmation or attestation. Ang nakalagay lamang po doon, communication from the 20th Congress. But how does the 20th Congress officially communicate to the upper house, which is the Senate, acting as an impeachment court? Of course, this should be the formal communication that we're used to, such as the passing of a resolution. Or however it is that they want to do it, like for example, file again signed resolution from all of the majority of the House of Representatives congressmen. So these are the official communications that has been for them to comply, and the impeachment court has been waiting for. But the 20th Congress, of course, we need to wait for the creation of the 20th Congress until it is born.
So you stand by kailangan?
It's up to them whether or not to comply or not. But again, this is the order of the impeachment court, and any lawyer worth his salt, and any litigant for that matter, should comply first before you complain.
Sir, sabi niyo 7 days has passed, wala silang nasasubmit sa inyo, and particularly there is a need to refile notice of appearance. So are you saying sila yung nagdadrag, sila yung nagpapatagal dahil hindi sila nagsasubmit pa ng kahit ano?
As I said, actions speak louder than words, at sa aming mga abogado, mas matimbang po ang ebidensya kesa sa mga salita. So tingnan na lamang po natin ng ebidensya. Ano po ba ang kanilang mga na-file na? Kahit po yung pagpapareceive nung ordinary notice of appearance lamang po ng depensa ay hindi pa po nila na-receive. Kung prepared na po sila mula pa ng Pebrero, katulad ng sinasabi ni Presiding Officer na what we have to do during this interim time that we are waiting for the convening of the court is to prepare. The Senate has already prepared for these matters. That's why merong nag-receive nung entry of appearance ad coetelam nung defense lawyers. Pero sa kanila po, kahapon na itanong sa kanila kung bakit hindi ni-receive, imbis na sagutin po nila, hindi po nila sinagot. Dinivert po nila yung attention at sinabi na wala namang epekto o wala namang ganong mabigat na prejudice na mangyayari kung hindi nila i-receive. Kung ready po, dapat na i-receive. Dapat may opisina na itinalaga para mag-receive po. So it seems na hindi po yung impeachment court yung unprepared.
Sir, isa na lang for me. Attorney Bukoy pa rin, sabi niya kung makikita raw ng dating komposisyon ng Senado, yung ginagawa ng Senado ngayon, ikakahiya daw. Iba yung komposisyon noon, umaani ng respeto, walang patotsyada. Ngayon yung actuation nila, maraming patotsyada.
Ibabalik ko po, kapag kami po ay magkalaban ba o nasa ordinaryong korte, gagawin po ba yan at tatanungin pa rin po ba yan ni Attorney Bukoy sa media? Ganyan po ba ang pagkikriticize ng isang abogado sa isang korte? So kung ako po, ikang sagot doon hindi, then dapat hindi po ginagawa yung ganon. Kasi ano po ba ang motibo para i-criticize po ang impeachment court? You might not agree with the actions of the court, but it is still the court that has been vested by the Constitution with the power to solely try and decide impeachment cases. And dun pa lang po dapat meron tayong pagrespeto at hindi po natin matanggal ang kredibilidad ng korte. So ano po motibo nila by criticizing the court? Dapat po yung energy po nila na pagkikriticize sa korte ay ginugugol nga po nila doon sa kanilang kalaban dahil hindi po nila kalaban ng korte. Ang kalaban po nila ay yung kabilang party, yung defense po. So sabi niya po, formidable yung at mga respetableng mga abogado po yung nasa defense team. So paghandaan na lamang po nila. At yun yung awayin po nila at wag po yung impeachment court.
Attorney, may mga nag-oppose doon sa sinabi ni Presiding Officer Chis Escudero na walang limitation yung pwedeng gawin at pagdesisyonan ng impeachment court. Sabi nga ho ni Senator Coco Pimentel, the mere fact na nag-oath sila bilang senator judges, may mga sinusunod sila na impeachment rules doon pa lamang, it means may limitation yung pwedeng gawin ng impeachment court.
Meron pong limitation naman po ang impeachment court. Unang-una po, yung nakasaad po sa konstitusyon, no? Alam po yan ni Presiding Officer. But I think he is more of talking in the context of doon po sa mga bagay-bagay na hindi po nakaspell out ng detalyado sa konstitusyon po natin. So, una po, ang limitasyon sa Senado, yung pagboto dapat ng mga senador, dapat 2/3 of all the members. Pangalawa po, yung ipapataw po na penalty po, hindi po pagkakulong, hindi rin po civil liability, kung hindi pagkatanggal lamang po at saka perpetual disqualification. The Senate cannot impose more than that. Yun po yung mga limitasyon ng konstitusyon at saka po nakalagay doon na kapag nag-implement po o nagpasa ng rules ng Senate impeachment court, yun po ay isang self-regulatory or self-limiting na limitasyon sa Senado po. So yung mga konteksto pong yun, yung mga pinupunan po nung mga pag-adapt ng supplementary rules ng rules of court po, yun po yung mga limitasyon na inimpose ng impeachment court upon itself. However, there are matters such as, for example, yung question po kung pwede po ba mag-refer back ang Senate impeachment court doon sa House of Representatives po. Medyo vague po doon at ambiguous. Nakalagay po sa Rule 9, Section 1 ng Rules of Court, pwede pong tingnan ng isang hukom ang kanyang jurisdiction doon sa isang kaso pag nakafile sa kanya kahit wala pong nag-motion na party. So ang tanong po dyan, mag-a-apply po ba yon o hindi? So dito po sa nangyari sa ating impeachment court, in-apply po in a way ng Senado pero hindi po dinismiss. So ininterpret niya po yung konstitusyon base po sa kanyang kapangyarihan na to be the one to solely try and decide the impeachment cases. Ayon po yan doon sa Supreme Court decision din na Manila Prince Hotel versus GSIS. Ako po, hindi lamang po ako nagsasabi dito ng mga sound bites po sa inyo. Kasi po bilang abogado rin po, kailangan po namin na ipaintindi rin sa sambayanan kung ano po yung mga legal na basehan. So part of our duty as spokesperson bilang abogado po is not to just na magbigay po ng PR statement sa inyo, pero mag-educate din po kung ano po yung legal basis.
So you're saying, attorney, na hindi general yung naging statement ni SP Cheese na walang limitation yung kayang gawin at pagdesisyonan ng impeachment court?
Yes po. Ang ibig po niyang sabihin doon, for those na ambiguous and vague, doon po walang limitation na i-interpret po ng Senate as an impeachment court yung kanyang kapangyarihan. Ayon nga po doon sa Supreme Court case na yon ng Manila Prince Hotel versus GSIS, at saka po yung sinusundan natin na persuasive na US case na Nixon versus US po.
Last na lang, si former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, now Presidential Legal Advisor, meron ho siyang advice sa senator judges once na mag-full swing na yung impeachment trial. Sabi niya, with due respect to them, my first advice is to keep quiet and then go to the session hall during their trial, sit down and listen to the proceedings, listen to the presentation of evidence. So, may plano ba si SP Cheese bilang presiding officer na i-advise din yung mga senator judges ng ganito?
I think for the meantime po, no, hinahayaan nga po yung malayang paglalayag ng mga opinion ng mga senator judges kasi wala pa po tayo doon sa merito ng kaso. Pero nakalagay po doon, tama po si Senate President, former Senate President Enrile, na meron po talagang ganong basehan sa Senate rules, which is yung sinasabi ko pong Rule 18 po ng Senate rules. And when I confronted the presiding officer at the time about that rule, sabi niya po, wala pa naman tayo doon sa presentasyon ng ebidensya at nandun pa lamang tayo sa mga preliminaries na tinatawag. So, I think for the meantime po, okay lang po para mapagdiskusyon nating lahat kung ano po yung mga interpretasyon ng Senado at saka ng mga constitutionalists at mga legal framers about mga ambiguities po sa pag-exercise ng Senate impeachment court ng kanyang kapangyarihan.
So, attorney, kapag nagkaroon na ng impeachment trial, possible na may obligasyon si SP Cheese bilang presiding officer na mag-impose ng gag order?
That is always a possibility. Kaya rin po, for the first time po, no, I tried to research yung tanong nyo kung ako ba yung unang spokesperson ng impeachment court. Parang opo, no? So, by doing that, by appointing me as the spokesperson, para malamang po, doon po tayo papunta sa pag-i-implement po ng Rule 18. But of course, it's up to the presiding officer at that time. We can only hazard a guess as of now. Pero we will cross the bridge when we get there pag nag-umpisa na po yung pagpapresenta ng mga ebidensya.
Thank you, attorney.
Hi, Attorney. Sir, coming off from former SP Enrile din, he said sa interview na the Senate is supposed to do its job with reasonable speed, for the Constitution says forthwith. Anybody can understand that English word, and they did not do it. They tarried, they dilly-dallied. Your reaction lang po.
Sabi nga ng presiding officer, nandun pa rin kayo sa forthwith. Pero ako po, the opinions of different lawyers, makikita niyo po, kaya kaming mga lawyers, hindi po kami nagkakasundo, di ba? Kagad-kagad kasi nga iba-iba kaming opinion. And we have big personalities to argue about all these little things that ordinary people will not argue about. Pero para po sa kaalaman ng sambayanan, yung paggalaw naman po ng Senado ay hindi po unreasonable delay. Meron na rin pong mga Supreme Court decisions ang ating Philippine Supreme Court at na hindi na kinakailangan po ng construction or interpretation na ginagawa ng ating mga constitutionalists, pati ni former Senate President Enrile, yung about sa forthwith. Sinabi po doon sa, ito mabobore na naman kayo kasi cases to, no? Sa Fisher versus Ambler, sa Manila Masonic Temple versus Alfonso, at saka sa, ano pa yung isa ba? Basta may isa pa akong case basta versus Antolz, no? Yun yung mga cases na pinagbasehan at ni-research rin po ng ating legal team dito sa Senate Impeachment Court na meron na po na desisyon ng definisyon ng forthwith. At ito po ay without delay. Sinabi rin po ni dating Justice Ascuna na dalawa po ang ibig sabihin ng forthwith. Yung unang-una po ay immediately at yung pangalawa po ay without delay. So, ang sabi niya po nung ginagawa yung konstitusyon, maaaring pumasok na po doon sa pangalawang definition which is without delay. Ito rin po yung kinatigan ng Korte Suprema doon sa 3 kaso na yon. Mamaya ibibigay ko sa inyo yung para ma-cite nyo dyan sa inyong
Sir, isa pang sinabi po ni former SP Enrile, yung pag-return is improper and unparliamentary. Reaction lang din po.
Very po yan, no? Very welcome yung ganyan nga na mga opinion kasi it adds to the conversation. Lalong-lalo na po, alam naman natin na si Senator Enrile ay very wise at very knowledgeable about the law. However, he was not the one confronted with the motion. He was not one of the senator judges. He is not the senator sitting as one of the senator judges in the impeachment court. And I think the collective wisdom of the impeachment court should be respected on the actions that it did. Now, if ever meron pa pong hindi makatanggap nung majority vote na 18-5 at nung action ng impeachment court, sabi po namin nga, the final arbiter of all of these issues is the Supreme Court. So they just have to go to the Supreme Court kung gusto talaga nilang malinawan. But kung hindi po sila pupunta sa Supreme Court, wag po nilang itry ito sa Court of Public Opinion at maniwala kayo doon sa collective wisdom ng ating impeachment court.
Sir, last na lang po sa akin. Sa timeline lang, sir, di ba si VP Sara, ang deadline niya to give the reply is 21, pero Saturday yon, so 23. So, ang prosecutors have 28, pero Saturday
po,
so 30.
30 po.
Okay, so what will happen, sir, kung hindi magpasa ng reply, given na parang sabi natin, hindi nagagampanan ng prosec yung, hindi nila nasasubmit yung mga kailangan nilang isubmit?
I think I think yung hindi po nilang pagpasa ng mga kailangan po nilang i-file, I think baka strategy po nila yon, no? Hindi natin alam talaga kung ano yung tunay na dahilan, pero siguro yung mga contemporaries nyo doon sa House, dapat tanungin sila doon about that. Syempre, as a court, we will just act based on what has been filed. So, yung reply po, I think, balak naman po nila mag-file ng reply. Alam naman po natin na bibigatin din naman yung mga advisor din po nung prosecution panel. Gagawin din po nila lahat ng dapat nilang gawin kapag nandoon na yung answer with affirmative defenses. So magre-reply po sila doon. Kung hindi naman po answer with affirmative defenses ang i-file po ni Vice President Sara at ito po ay isang motion to dismiss, then I'm sure magpa-file po sila ng comment and opposition doon sa motion to dismiss. So ito po nasasabi ko po to, hindi ito panghuhula. Ito lamang po ay base sa experience natin bilang isang litigator.
Thank you po.
Hello po, Attorney. Good afternoon.
Good
Sir,
afternoon
may violation po ba dun sa refusal na tanggapin yung notice of appearance?
Wala naman po, but it says a lot. Kasi po, kunwari, isang law office, walang tumatanggap doon, sarado po yung law office, then it says a lot about that law office. Or a party, kapag nagpadala po tayong demand letter, tapos walang tumatanggap doon demand letter, tama po? So, ibig sabihin, tinataguan nyo yung magbibigay ng demand letter, yung pinagkakautangan nyo. So, it says a lot about the actions, no? Baka hindi po prepared, or baka naman po ayaw tanggapin as a matter of strategy. Pero hindi ko po talaga alam kung ano dun sa mga posibilidad na yon yung kanilang motivation, why they did not receive. Again, this is just a very minor pleading. It is just pleading informing the court na ito po yung mga abogado na magre-representa sa akin. Wala pong any motion po doon, walang ganong issue or conflict na kailangan isipin pa ang magkabilang panig kapag nag-file po sila ng notice of appearance. So nakakapagtaka lamang po, no, na bakit pati yun hindi pa nagawang ma-receive.
How about, sir, dun sa mga criticisms? You said earlier na for the first time na yung mga litigants mismo nagkikriticize dun sa court. May violation po ba dun?
Kung alam niyo po, alam ko nagko-cover din kayo ng mga ng mga kaso sa ordinary court, sa Supreme Court. Makikita niyo po yung mga litigants doon kahit na hindi pabor sa kanila yung desisyon ng isang korte, hindi po nila pwedeng makriticize basta-basta, mako-contempt of court po kami doon. Ito po yung naririnig niyo rin na sub judice rule. At yun po usually yung gawain ng isang litigant. Siyempre, ikaw nahaharap sa korte, ayaw mong magalit sa iyo yung mga hukom. Nakita na po natin yan nung panahon ng impeachment case ni former Chief Justice Corona. 'Di ba? Napapagalitan yung mga prosecution panel ni Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. So hindi ko po malaman kung ano po yung nasa isip nila na pantay po ang impeachment court doon po sa mga litigants. Kasi po kung makikita po nila, lagi nilang sinasabi mga nangyari before sa mga impeachment trial, tingnan rin po nila kung ano po yung akto ng impeachment court doon sa mga litigants at that time. Kahit nga po sila dating Solicitor General Estelito Mendoza napapagalitan ng mga hukom ng impeachment court. So patas lamang po ang pagtingin ng impeachment court sa mga litigants, pero hindi po nakakataas ang litigants sa impeachment court.
So at this point, attorney, ano po yung pwedeng magawa ng impeachment court doon sa mga ganong criticisms?
Sabi nga po natin, no, for the meantime, medyo liberal ang ating impeachment court. Ang ating presiding officer, hindi naman po niya balak na gamitin ang lahat ng kapangyarihan para kastiguhin yung mga hindi nagrerespeto sa impeachment court. Although the power is always there. But if ever it will be used, for the meantime, I don't think it will be used.
Sir, na-raise na po to be for KSP, but just to get your opinion also, is it possible to cite the prosecutors or the defense in contempt if hindi po sila sumunod sa any orders of the impeachment court? And for example, on the prosecution panel, paano po mangyayari doon? Sino ang iko-contempt sa kanila? Buong house po ba? Yung prosecution panel?
Again, that is in the realm of possibilities. Lahat yan pwedeng mangyari po. Pero yan nga po yung iniiwasan ng ating impeachment court. Ayaw nga po nating magkaroon ng awayan. Ayaw ng impeachment court na magkaroon ng away o magkakaroon ng constitutional crisis pag nagmatigas ang impeachment court laban sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema, if ever. So ang ginawa po ng impeachment court, pumunta po siya at nakipagdialogo at nag-order po sa House na tayo na lang magresolba nitong constitutional issue na to, na may question about yung mga depekto sa articles of impeachment, sagutin nyo na lamang kasi kayo nakakaalam dyan. So, kayo na lang ang magdesisyon kung magko-crossover o hindi. So, hindi po kaaway ang impeachment court. In fact, we are asking for the cooperation of the House so that any legal issues as to the jurisdiction of the impeachment court kapag nag-umpisa na pong umusad itong trial natin, ay wala nang magko-question either from the prosecution, from the defense, or any other person po na gustong questionin yung jurisdiction ng impeachment court. So we are actually giving our co-equal House na gawin natin yung nararapat at tayo na lang magresolba nito within the legislative body or the branch of government.
So,
Kaya po doon sa tanong ninyo kung magko-contempt, of course, as I said earlier, hindi po yun yung policy. Kasi nga gusto nga natin na maging cooperative yung both houses sa isa't isa.
Pero sir, iano ko lang yung question ni Ms. Mav. Sino po ang pwede i-contempt? Yung 11-man prosecution panel, yung House leadership, sino po? Sino ang i-contempt ng impeachment court?
Ah, y- yeah. Kaya po ayaw natin dumating sa ganon. Kasi yung iniisip niyo po yan, yung question yung yan, yaan din po ang isa sa mga question na pag dedebatihan na naman ng mahaba ng impeachment court ng mga senator judges at boboto na naman po sila regarding dyan sa question na yan. Kaya kung gusto po nating umusad ng mabilis itong proseso ng impeachment, wag na pong magkaroon ng mga ganyang mga issues na ma-raise pa po sa impeachment court at magde-debate at magbobotohan pa po dyan. So yun po yung sinasabi namin. Mag-comply na lamang po tayo para wala ng any other legal issues na isa-settle preliminarily ang impeachment court at magpatuloy na yung pinagdarasal nila na presentation ng evidence.
Sorry, attorney, isa pa. So, possibility at option yung contempt, but you wish it will not come to that. Tama?
Possibility po yun, no? Yung contempt, at dahil nandiyan po yan sa rules ng Senado as an impeachment court, pero if ever it will be used, I don't think the impeachment court will use it at the first instance. Usually po, yung mga hukom po, very tolerant naman po yan of the litigants.
Are you saying pag hindi sila nakasubmit hanggang June 30, walang contempt na mangyayari, sir?
I cannot say definitely kasi hindi po ako yung impeachment court. But yun nga, pag hindi po nagsa-scenario setting lamang po tayo dito, kapag hindi po mangyari yung pag-comply po nila, then nakahang pa rin po yung issue kung pwede po ba mag-crossover yung 19th, yung articles of impeachment na pinasa ng 19th Congress to the 20th Congress, at yun na naman ang pagdedebatehan. So mapapatagal na naman po, plus the possibility po na may mag-question na naman po kung ba't hindi sumunod at magkaroon ng motion for contempt. So ayaw na po natin magkaroon ng mga ganon, kaya ang pinakamadaling proseso po na gagampanan ng ating House of Representatives at yung House Prosecutors ay sumunod na lamang po sa compliance para magpatuloy na po yung proseso.
Sir, yung bang decision na kung matutuloy sa trial dependent on the commitment na ibibigay ng the House, can the impeachment court proceed with the trial even without the participation of the prosecution? And then you decide based on kung hindi sila nag-present ng anyway, the complaint has been transmitted to the court anyway.
Hindi ko po alam kung ano yung gustong i-test din ng House of Representatives o House Prosecutors. Of course, ayaw nga po natin magkaroon ng ganong issue pa. Kaya the easiest way for the trial, for the presentation to already happen is pag mag-comply po. However, the impeachment court never lost its jurisdiction in trying the case. It will just settle the questions or the issues that has been raised during the first session of the convening of the court. So para mapadali po ang proseso at wala ng any debates at issues at question as to the jurisdiction, kaya po ganun ang gumalaw ang impeachment court para isettle na lamang po ng House na sila na lamang po ang mag-determine na pwede nga po mag-crossover.
Pero wala bang constitutional basis for the impeachment court to proceed nga even without the participation of the House prosecution team? In case na hindi makapagbigay sila ng commitment that they will pursue the case?
We are going into the realm of possibilities po, and we are going also in the realm of first impression, first time pong mangyayari yon. So I cannot hazard a guess how the impeachment court will act by that time. Pero kung ganun po ang mangyayari, walang House prosecutors na pumunta at wala nang magpresenta nung articles of impeachment, then I think pagbobotohan po ulit ng impeachment court how they will go about it without the participation of the House prosecutors. Pero of course, this is antithetical dun sa kanilang sinasabi na gusto po nila magpatuloy at handa sila. So, kung susundan po natin yung sinasabi po nila, at of course, sabi rin nila na may presumption of regularity rin sa gawain nila, then we have to believe what they say, that they are, na porsigido po silang i-prosecute yung kanilang initiate na articles of impeachment.
Yung nagsasalita po kasi ngayon, ito nagbibigay ng commitment in 19th Congress.
Tama po.
And ang ini-expect po natin is from the 20th
Tama po.
Congress. So, we don't know for sure kung the same pa rin yung ano nila.
Tama po. Kaya isa po yan. Pero as I said sa mga interviews po natin, no, the actions of the impeachment court is actually to forestall any questions as to the jurisdiction once that the process starts rolling. So, yun po yung intention lamang ng impeachment court para wala na mag-question. At kung may mag-question man, papasok na po siya doon sa tinatawag natin political question or yung non-justiciable issue. Dahil po kapag official action po ng Senate o ng House ang mapunta sa harap ng Korte Suprema at natanong, usually po nirerespeto ng Korte Suprema kung ano yung official acts po ng Senate at ng House in the exercise of their powers that has been exclusively given to them. Yun po yung political question.
Sir, hindi ba pwede apply dito yun sa korte katulad nung pag hindi umaten yung mga nagpo-prosecute ng 3 beses? Hindi ba ganun na nangyayari? Hindi ba pwedeng apply dito yan sa impeachment court? Ituloy yung process and then antayin kung atin o hindi ng 3 beses tulad na sa mga korte. Hindi ba pwede apply dito yan?
That is in the realm of possibilities again po. Pwede at pwede rin po. Depende po yan sa boto ng mga senator judges kapag na-confront na po sila ng ganyang question sa convening po nila on the floor. So again, this is a system po na hindi po totally judicial. Meron po rin political aspect at factors po tayong kino-consider. Isipin nyo na nga lamang po, no, kung ang lahat ng mga senador natin ay hindi abogado, ibig sabihin po ba hindi na po nila i-considera yung judicial processes po, no? Or kung puro politicians lamang po sila, puro civilian, hindi po walang abogadong profesyon, ano po yung magiging basehan po nila, 'di ba? So, kaya po inilagay ng ating framers ito sa ating Senado ay dahil alam po nila na kung may magtatanggal po ng mga opisyales na ibinoto ng sambayanan, dapat yung mga ibinoto rin ng sambayanan ang magtatanggal sa kanila. At hindi po inilagay sa korte yung desisyon na yon. Kaya dun sa tanong niyo po, hindi ko rin po alam kasi maraming factors po. Hindi lamang po judicial, i-consider rin po ng impeachment court of senator judges yung political aspect at that time when it is confronted with that issue.
Pag naabot po tayo sa puntong ganon, may posibilidad po ba na ang pagbotohan ay i-dismiss na yung kaso?
Isa po yan sa mga posibilidad pa rin na pwedeng mangyari, sabi nga ni presiding officer. Pero kaya nga po natin hinihingan ng mga compliance ang House para kapag ni-raise po yung issue na yan, by any party o may clarification na isang senator judge at maging issue na naman po for the impeachment court to decide on, meron na pong mas mabigat na basehan na wag nang i-dismiss dahil meron na pong opisyal na action at compliance ang House doon sa ipinag-uutos ng Senate Impeachment Court. So, mawawalan na po na gaano ng wiggle room kung tinatawag na mag-prosper po yung yung ganong theory